We are live and now recording.
Thanks, Katie. Can we start with roll call, please?
Yes, Mr. Antonio,
Here.
Mr. Badger,
Here.
Mr. Bleefeld,
Here.
Ms. Kiavachi,
Here.
Mr. Frank,
Here.
Mrs. Heyman,
Here.
Ms. Karyonikis,
Here.
Dr. Morris,
Here.
Mrs. Ginsburg,
Here.
Sachi Mehta, here, Blake Zimmerman.
Here.
9 present, 0 absent, and 2 student board reps this evening.
Thanks, Katie. Now we're going to recite the Pledge of Allegiance, and we have a lot of helpers this evening. If you guys want to stand up and lead us. Thank you for your help. We welcome everyone, especially our Shady Grove families who are joining us this evening. If you take a look at our agenda, it lists out first our prior meetings. January 9th, we had a regular public board meeting. January 17th, we had a board racial equity oversight committee meeting. On January 23rd, we had our policy committee meeting. January 25th was the MCIU Board of Directors meeting. And on January 30th, we had our public work session. Our upcoming meetings are then listed. On February 13th, we'll have a finance committee budget workshop. February 21st, a board racial equity oversight committee meeting. February 22nd is the next MCIU Board of Directors meeting. February 27th will be our next work session, and March 6th, our next regular public board meeting. Now we will move on to our presentations for this evening. Jim?
Thank you. I'm noticing that for the audience at home, they can't see the bevy of guests we have, important guests with us tonight, who are all with us from Shady Grove Elementary School. And I'm going to call on the principal of Shady Grove, Dr. Jason Bialka, to introduce one of our very best teachers, Ms. Madden, and all of our friends here with us tonight.
Good evening. It is my pleasure to welcome Ms. Madden and Ms. Madden's class here tonight. And over the past few years, so much louder, I almost don't need this, sorry. Over the past few years, we have really placed an emphasis on social emotional learning. And what does that look like in our schools? And the reason that Ms. Madden and her class is presenting tonight is because you're going to see that this is just embedded in what they do in their daily routines. The focus on community, on togetherness, collaboration, and high expectations for academic achievement while also focusing on important characteristics like kindness and grit. I have the benefit of seeing this on a daily basis in this classroom. So I know we have our 14 guests here that are very excited to present to you tonight. And it's not going to just be a presentation, it's going to be a show. So I hope that you're all ready. And with that, I will introduce Mrs. Madden.
Thank you, Dr. Bialka. Mrs. Meyer, do you mind getting this started? This is not my personal computer, so I don't want to mess things up for the board meeting. Thank you. And all I need to do is just press the next, press the arrow. Got it. Okay, awesome. Thank you. I was very proud of my students, and Dr. Bialka invited us to come and present to you this evening. And we did a lot of thinking about what we wanted to share with you. And the slides that are up here on the board, I'm not going to read them to you, but I want you to look at the difference. Oh, you can't see. You can't see the slides on the right hand. Oh, there we go. Thank you. Mrs. Meyer, you are a genius. What you can see is the brain on the left-hand side that says no is the way that I would say I used to teach, especially when I was a first-year teacher, the first couple of years. I did a lot of talking. And what I found out is the more that I talked or the longer that I talked, the more that I had present bodies but absent minds. And I first learned about whole brain teaching by other Wissahickon teachers at Shady Grove and at Bluebell Elementary School. And we are a professional learning network of amazing educators who share ideas all the time about how we can make things better for our students when we're teaching and learning. And the brain on the right-hand side, research shows that if you can turn learning into a game for kids, that it increases their motivation, it increases their engagement, it really impacts student achievement and learning, and it helps kids make connections in their brains with those neurons. It's called neuroplasticity, although I don't really know much about that. But I do know that it creates meaningful memories that go into the back of your brain and really help you learn. So that being said, you're not going to hear anything else from me tonight because it's really just about how my students take ownership over their learning. So now I'd like to hand it over to the Shady Grove fourth graders, and Chloe's in charge of all the organizations. So here she goes. Okay.
Whole brain teaching helps me know what to do. When I know what to do, it makes me feel good. It helps me remember and makes me feel more focused.
Whole brain teaching really makes me feel engaged in class.
QR code. Repetitive to show what you made a repetitive to show what from students think about whole brain teaching. There is a QR code. You can open the QR code app with your iPhone or open your phone camera app to scan that QR code.
Our school rules make it fun for kids to learn. We use teamwork to practice our rules with the race. Randomly, Mrs. Madden will say a rule and we use our teamwork to listen and repeat it. We will show you our race.
If you don't beat our time, it motivates me to try harder.
Rule number 1 helps me follow directions quickly so I can stay on task.
Rule number 2 helps me not to listen to anybody else except the person who is talking.
I like rule number 3, be kind. When someone makes a mistake, we say, you're still cool. We always say it to Mrs. Madden when she makes a mistake. Rule number 4, make smart choices. Helps me know not to do crazy things like jump over a chair. Rule number 5, keep your team strong and happy. It helps me want to help other people. I love rule number 6, the dining rule, keep your eye on the target. This helps me stay focused in class. If I notice that I'm looking around, I see the diamond rule and say to myself, stay focused and stay on target. The scoreboard helps the whole class get excited because when we get more Mighty Oh Yeahs and Mighty Groans, we get a dice roll. The first class period math is the hardest one to win because you have to roll a 1. If we roll and we don't win, we all yell, we got good and we won't quit. Like how it's not 100% that we will get a dice roll because you need to know being good just has a good feeling, not always getting anything back. A super improver wall is great to motivate each kid in class. There are animals on the left. Each one gets faster and takes more stars to level up and unlock the next animal. Having a personal goal motivates me to work hard. The super improver wall helps motivate me to always try my best to help my class earn rewards. Even if we don't get the dice roll, we still try our best. Every time we earn a super improver star, we get closer to leveling up to a higher animal. We get a class party, which helps motivate everyone in the class. I like the super improver wall because if I level up, I can get us a 30-second dance party. I also try even harder in small groups so I can earn a super improver star.
The super improver wall helps me want to learn and level up. One of my personal goals is to improve in math. I work in Khan Academy every week to improve. My personal goal is to get better at singing my R sound. When I practice and get better, I can level up. When Mrs. Madden calls class, class, we say yes, yes. She calls it lots of different ways. My favorite is when she says konnichiwa, class. We say konnichiwa, yes, and it helps me get ready to learn. Celebrations. I like 30-second dance parties because they motivate us to do good and level up. When we improve to unlock a new animal, we get a class party. Our favorites are gym parties. When we do mirrors up, we echo the teacher about the most important learning. Now Lafonda will demonstrate.
Mirrors up. When comparing fractions, you cross multiply the denominators, the numerators.
Mirrors up is always followed by teach okay. When we do teach okay, we go to our partner and we teach them what we just learned. When Miss Madden says switch, we high five and the other person gets a turn to teach. Now let's demonstrate. Teach. Okay. I get really happy when we do teach okay. When I know what to do, it feels good. If a partner does not know how to do something, you can teach them. Teach okay is a responsibility because you need to be able to teach someone else. You learn a lot more when you teach it to someone else because you are explaining what you learned. Repeat is when Miss Madden says the direction 3 times, like close your lid, close your lid, close your lid.
You always know what to do, even if you didn't hear it the first time. When she says 3 times, that helps everyone.
I like it because if I don't hear it the first time, I can hear it the second or third time. Repeat helps you pay attention. We just started Alpha Hawks. We bring in a photo of someone very important to us that we want to make proud, and we hang it up in the classroom. I like it because it makes me want to work harder. We use color rating as a game to write single, double, and triple whammy sentences. We use gestures to remind ourselves to use capitals and punctuation such as commas in a series. Here's my example. My favorite holidays are Christmas, Lunar New Year, and Easter. When we play the game, we get points for every correct sentence. If we make a mistake, our partner says, "You're still cool," and we try again. Now we're going to demonstrate with an easy one. Bye. You can see, oh wait. Okay. All voices from our class are represented in our Padlet. You can see what our class really thinks about whole brain teaching and why we love it. Appreciations. We appreciate the Wissahickon School Board for letting Mrs. Madden's class come and share what we do in our classroom. We hope you liked our presentation. Bye.
Thank you so much for that amazing presentation. Guys, I'm actually going to have you all come over here to this whiteboard. We're going to do a picture with two of our board members, Zephy and Ronnie. Thank you again, Dr. Bialik, Ms. Madden, and her class.
Shot now.
Anyone that would like to is
Yeah,
welcome
right.
to stay or leave. We'll give you a few minutes. All right, we'll now move on to our next presentation. Tough one to follow, the We Off student rep.
Oh.
report.
That is a tough one to follow. Well, good evening. I hope everybody is doing well. We Off will host its annual trivia night event on Saturday, March 25th 2023 at 7:30 p.m. at the Upper Gwinnett Firehouse. This awesome annual fundraiser features several rounds of fast-paced Q&A and community building for West Nation. This is an adults-only event. Ticket sales begin at the end of February. Purchase individual tickets or team tickets up to 8 people per team. The maximum capacity for this event is 15 teams. $60 for an individual ticket or $450 for a table of 8. A portion of the ticket is tax deductible. Don't forget your Easy Passes and help your team win. Purchase Easy Passes to help your team be the 2023 trivia champions. Each team may purchase up to 8 Easy Passes at $10 each. An Easy Pass counts as one correct answer and can be used in any round. Purchase your Easy Passes when you purchase your event tickets. Raffle baskets, we will have 2 baskets to raffle. Prizes include 2 baskets to a June Phillies game and a night at the Ritz-Carlton in Philadelphia. We are looking forward to an awesome night of fundraising for the West Nation community.
Awesome, thank you. Does anyone have any questions or comments? That's anyone else? All right, well, thank you so much for that report.
Thank you.
All right, we'll move on now to our first public comment period. I'll remind everyone that we allow a maximum of 5 speakers on any particular topic. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes and note that it's not our practice to engage in dialogue with speakers. When appropriate, we will follow up with responses on our website. And we have one person registered in person, Mitchell Harris. You can approach. Just state your name, municipality of residence, and your topic.
Mitch Harris, I think you're all used to seeing me. I live in Whitpain Township. I'm here tonight. Obviously, I know I wanted to speak sort of after a potential vote on boys volleyball, but I did hear from several board members that it looks like it's going to move forward. I just wanted to come and express my gratitude for your consideration, certainly to the athletic director, Jim Cairns, and Kathy Dick in the office. I don't want to say I've been a thorn in their side, but I've been extremely passionate about this project and certainly have spent many hours speaking with them, but I really wanted to come and thank you. I did get the reactions of several students. One walked by me in school, put his hands up like Rocky climbing the stairs. Another parent who was here at the last meeting emailed me and said her son screamed when he heard the news. And this past yesterday, I was at an all-day volleyball tournament where the coaches for Quakertown, Abington, and Penridge were there, and they were all super excited that another school in the area was going to be adding a team, boys team of volleyball. So I just wanted to come tonight, really express my gratitude. Thank you all for your consideration. Certainly a great level of communication. I definitely bugged a few of the members on the board and had lengthy conversations with them about it. And I think this is one of the great things that school boards can do and provide great opportunities for our student athletes. So thanks. I hope the vote goes my way, and I'm going to sit here and wait and see. Take care.
Thank you for those comments. All right. You hearing the feedback?
Yeah,
Is it
I
me?
think we're okay.
We're good? Okay. All right, we'll move on now to the board president report. I have no informational items and no action items this evening. Superintendent report,
No report tonight. Thank you.
assistant superintendent report, none either. Okay, then we'll move on to our board solicitor report. Michelle?
No report from me either.
All right, then we'll move on to our board secretary report. Wade?
Thank you very much. No informational item and there's no change to the action items. So we're requesting approval of action items 10B1 through 3.
Second.
A motion's been made and seconded. Are there any comments or questions? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now I'll have our board treasurer report, Wade.
Thank you very much. There's no informational item and no change to the action item. So I'm requesting approval of action item 11B1.
So moved.
Second.
A motion's been made and seconded. Are there any comments or questions? Seeing none, all those in favor? Anyone opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Wade. Human Resources report, Danielle.
Good evening. Tonight, there are no informational items. Changes from last week's agenda can be found in bold. These include items 12B4 and 12B7, the request for approval of the revised volleyball job descriptions and the addition of a new athletic team, boys volleyball. This evening, I am seeking approval for action items 12B1 through 7.
So moved.
Second.
The motion's been made and seconded. Are there any comments or questions? This is a happy vote for me. It's nice to bring joy to people's lives. Thank you, Mitch, for your passion and your advocacy. This is great. Thank you. Any other comments or questions? All right, seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, motion passes. Yes, we look forward to that. All right, now we'll have our committee reports, Communications Committee.
Hi, I do have a quick informational meeting. We will be having a couple of communication meetings in the next couple of months. If you want to mark your calendars, they're 2/21, 3/20, 4/17, and 5/15. If we can update the front of our agenda to include those for the next board meeting, that would be great. For today, I have one action item that we're looking for approval. It's 13B1. If anyone would like to.
So moved.
Second.
A motion's been made and seconded. Are there any comments or questions? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, motion passes. Thank you. We'll move on now to our Curriculum and Technology Committee report. Ronnie?
We have no informational items. There are 6 action items which were reviewed by Dr. Dewan during the public board session meeting last week, and there are no changes. Tonight, we're seeking a motion to approve action items 14B1 through 14B6.
So moved.
Sorry.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Are there any comments or questions? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, motion passes. Thank you. Facilities and Transportation Committee, Joe?
Thank you. No informational items this evening, and the action items 15B1 through 5 were all reviewed and discussed at last week's meeting, and there are no changes. So I'm seeking approval for action items 15B1 through 5.
So moved.
Second.
A motion's been made and it's seconded. Are there any comments or questions? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Finance Committee report, David?
Thanks, Amy. We have no informational items tonight, except to remind everyone that there is a budget workshop next Monday, the first one at 6:30, right here. We have 4 action items which were all reviewed and discussed last week. There are no changes. So we're seeking approval of action item 16B1 through 4.
So moved.
Second.
The motion's been made and seconded. Are there any comments or questions? All right, seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, motion passes. Thank you. All right, we'll move on to our Policy Committee. Marshall?
Thank you, Amy. I want to thank the audience for sticking around for the report this evening. So we have 100% increase from last week for our Policy Committee report. Thank you, Mitch. It's very good. We have no informational items this evening, and nothing has changed since last week. So this week I am looking for approval of action items B1 through 15.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. Are there any comments or questions? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Racial Equity Oversight Committee. Paul?
Thanks, Amy. There are no informational or action items.
Okay, thank you. Then we'll move on to our report of board representatives, extracurricular, Marshall.
Thank you. I just want to note that we are very proud of all of the activities that we have upcoming for the school district, and obviously with the addition of our boys volleyball team, another wonderful opportunity for more of our students to participate and become a part of not only the athletic community, but to become wonderful athletes and members of our community and representatives of WIS Nation. So thank you to them and to all of our activities. Good luck this spring.
Thanks, Marshall. All right, MCIU Board of Directors, that's me. I have two things I wanted to share. One was that the MCIU was awarded the 4-year Project AWARE, which stands for Advancing Wellness and Resiliency in Education. This grant was from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration. It's a highly competitive grant. It's only been awarded by this administration to approximately 20 entities across the United States. It's a nationwide grant created to develop sustainable infrastructure for school-based mental health programs and services. And I'll send around some information about the project and what the MCIU plans to do with those funds. The other thing I wanted to share, if we have any golfers in the group, is that the MCIU will be having their 23rd annual Education Foundation Golf Classic at Brookside Country Club in Pottstown on May 15th. So I can circulate that information as well in case anybody is interested in golfing to benefit the MCIU. No, Stephanie says no, the MCIU. And that is all I have for the MCIU. North Monco Technical Career Center.
Two really quick updates. They walked us through, their plan as to what programs they're reevaluating, what they're adding and taking away. I did learn that one of the key reasons that the health sciences was a no-go is because actually no hospitals would take the students in. So it wasn't because of lack of interest or lack of wanting it. It was actually, there was no opportunity for the poor students to actually get their hours. So it wasn't a school issue. It's just, I guess, a logistics operational thing. And I forgot the second thing, so it must have been not very important. So I think that's it.
Thanks, Stephanie. Were there any questions for any of the reports? Sorry, I forgot to ask that after each one. No? Okay. PSBA liaison. Yeah.
So the PSBA is looking forward to hearing, I guess, on March 7th, our new governor, Josh Shapiro, will present his state budget proposal to the General Assembly. So we'll look for educational funding, and then I'll get a report on that. On April, PSBA is also having some sectional meetings on several topics. On April 12th, I'm going to attend one on the impact of poverty on districts. And then April 18th is our Advocacy Day in Harrisburg, which I also plan to attend.
Thanks, Dan. Any questions for Dan? Okay. Excuse me. Seeing none, we'll move on now to our second public comment period. Again, I'll remind you that we allow 5 speakers to be heard on the same topic. We limit comments to 3 minutes, and it's not our practice to engage in dialogue with speakers. When appropriate, we will follow up with responses on our website. We have no one in person. Is there anyone online?
No one on Zoom.
All right, then we'll move to board comments. Do any of my fellow board members have anything to share this evening?
One quick, sorry, Dave, go ahead. Oh, go ahead, Paul. Okay. Very quickly, I did attend RASN, which I forget what the
Regional Adolescent Sleep Needs Coalition.
Thank you. And I attended the Southeast Pennsylvania chapter, which is part of a national initiative. And there was quite a few folks, school directors, as well as parents and other advocates who also were on the line. They spent a little bit of time talking about the changes that Lower Merion is about to embark on, because they did just make the decision that they want to make the move. And then they also talked about how Downingtown is also doing a 20-minute push across all of the schools. Ronnie was also on the call with me. I think those were the biggest news, I would say. I don't know, Ronnie, if there was anything else you wanted to add, but it was a really great conversation, and it's open to anybody. So if you're interested in finding the information, I can pass on the invite. How do you get onto the Zoom? It's not a closed session.
Stephanie, is that something we could share out with the public, like on our website, if anyone would like to join? It's not just limited to board members, right?
I would reach out to them and see if that's permissible, but I don't see why not, because it is
There were
open.
parents on there today.
There was
There were
parents on this call, so I don't see why it would be an issue. I think advertising it would not be a problem, but I'll get the proper permission.
Great, yeah, maybe we can add that to our resource page online. That'd be great.
I'll follow up.
Thank you. Oh, you had a comment?
A quick comment. Our guests left rather quickly today, so we didn't get to say how great of a job the children did. I thought they did a fantastic job. I vote for whole brain board meetings from now on. But I'm interested to know how common this is amongst our classrooms. Is this being taught across all schools, all grade? I mean, all fourth grade levels at this point?
I would say it's rather than the phrase taught, the answer is yes, it is common. It's utilized rather than taught. It's used as a way to engage learners and engage brains and have whatever is being taught sink in and stay in and have it be digested and understood and retained. So it's definitely a common strategy, and it's almost like a mindset, really, because you change the way you used to teach. Phrase that's overused, but I'll use it anyways. Sit and get, and it doesn't really work. I'm sure high school students are familiar with sometimes sitting and getting, but it's really it extends to all ages. Well, in fact, to your point, members of a board could anytime there's information sharing and thinking about and decision making, the more the brain can be used, the better.
Yep, fantastic, Brad.
Great, thank you for that question. Any other questions or comments? I just had two things I wanted to share. One, I wanted to start moving forward before our meetings when we do not have exec session, having coffee out in the lobby area with guests and putting it out there that we'll be there at 6:30 if anyone would like to come and chat with us. So any board members welcome. I'm not saying you have to be there, but if you'd like to come and chat with the community, we're going to start doing that for most, if not all of our meetings where we don't have exec sessions. So you can come and enjoy some of the cookies and brownies and coffee beforehand, and maybe we'll get some other food. I don't know. And chat with the community. The other thing is I asked Jim to coordinate is I want to each week put something out there on our social media. Everybody on the board does so many amazing things in the community and in our schools. And I really just wanted to sort of highlight once a week something that someone did positive in our school community. So I'll coordinate with everyone about, when you're going to do yours and share that information with Jim so we can get up on Facebook. But I really want everyone to know, we all know what each other does within our district, but I would really like to share that information with others, how active everyone is. So hopefully everybody will want to participate in that as well. And those were my only comments. No other comments or questions? All right, well then can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
No one's against it, right? All right. adjourn.